guys, what is up? Welcome back to the channel. So glad you can join me. This series of videos for the month of January are going to be pretty special to me because it is my birthday month. Woo woo, Aquarius babies in the house. So my birthday is not until the 25th, but I'll be dedicating all of my nails this month to the wonderful sign of Aquarius and everything that it entangles. So I'll be doing some designs that are based off of, or loosely based off of, Aquarius themed pictures that I see online. So jumping into the video, I am doing a slight unboxing, not with the honey fan tips, although those tips are actually amazing, but with this Saviland Acrylic Kit. This is what it all comes with. It was a really nice kit. It was really cute, and I actually really just wanted it for the liquid. But it comes with the gold dual forms, which are great if you like your nails on the shorter side. They're actually very good forms. It comes with this really nice dual dap and dish, the liquid itself, a cute tiny brush if you didn't have one already, an instruction manual as to how to use the liquid to powder, liquid and powder, and then it comes with this wonderful 4-ounce jar of clear, which I actually really appreciated, and once we get into doing the nails, this clear is actually a dream. So more on that later, but yes, we'll be using the honey fan tips. I've seen these tips all over the place. They are the C-curve tips, XL or XXL, whatever you think your idea of long nails is, and these tips are actually really nice. So I really do highly recommend them if you can get them from wherever, but honey fans just ship the fastest. So like I said, these nails for the next month, for the entire month of January, are going to be dedicated to the wonderful month of Aquarius. Well, just Aquarius in general. If you're an Aquarius, leave a like. Go ahead and like this video if you're an Aquarius. And you know what? If you're a die-hard Aquarius, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, because you know Aquarius need to stick together. I also welcome all types of other zodiac signs, but Aquarius we're just on top. We're just the best. We're the best. So I'm going to be doing some jelly nails. I have honestly done jelly nails maybe once or twice, but not with the method of mixing my medium into my acrylic. I thought I was going to use that OPI. I actually wound up not doing it because I like the color of the alcohol ink. So I do have this alcohol ink from Born Pretty that I'll be using. This, we'll talk about that clear that I just picked up in a minute, but that is trash. But I had actually never done nails in this particular fashion before, and I have all these polishes and inks and all this other stuff that I just need to use, and this is a good way to use it. Also, guys, I fixed this brush. I almost threw it away, and I watched a couple of videos and put them all together and came up with this way to be able to restore my brushes so they look and work basically brand new. So if you're interested in that, if you're having a problem with restoring your brushes, or you know, I accidentally forget mine all the time and they just wind up sitting in acetone, or they just wind up sit out and they get really gunky. So if you want a video on that, let me know down below, because I really do I would like to share that with you guys, because it is very, very useful and saves you a lot of money in brushes. So there's that. And so yeah, so I just went out and got some glitters from my glitter box. I'm using a mix of the Fairy Tale from, I believe, Nail Heaven Supply Store, I believe. I got Fairy Tale glitter that I just put into a smaller jar because the bag is huge and I'm never gonna use all that glitter ever. It's a lot of glitter. And then I have some holographic purple blue glitter from Pure Elements. Unfortunately, they are no longer available or a working company, so that glitter is not available, along with the moons, the crescent moons, the blue, the hollow blue, and the hollow silver. Those are also from Pure Elements. But again, I just actually went to go look them up and they're not there anymore, and I'm so sad. It was such a great up-and-coming company. So I went ahead and tested out the liquid in my clears to see how they would work, and to start, let me just say that the really big wide mouth jar is an ASP bonding clear. I actually threw it away shortly after this because it's a bonding, so I'm assuming safely that means it's going to cure really fast, and I'm not good at 3D art yet, so I'm not going to be using it for that. And I think that honestly I accidentally mixed a little bit of glow powder in there, so that's probably why I picked it up, and I just wanted to get rid of it. Again, a quest to myself for this year is to use most of my products, 99% of the products I already have, because I have so many. But yeah, I was just trying to get rid of it, and that powder actually sucks. Whack. Just like Hannibal said, whack. That powder, whack. It's trash. So I wound up throwing it away. I think I did one nail with it, and I had such a hard time with it drying so fast on the nail, or even just drying on the brush. And I think I did switch out brushes after I did that nail, because it just, and I definitely threw that powder away. That powder was just trash. So I'm just going in with the Saviland. The Saviland Clear 100% is a dream to work with. Like, I had no problems with it drying up on me too fast. I still could mold it whenever I needed it to. So if it could be, you know, just the fact that I'm using both the product and the two products together, the monomer and the acrylic, but it's, you know what, no, this is just, it's good. It's really good, honestly. And it's non-MMA, or no, yes, it is MMA free. So the smell actually wasn't that bad. It actually didn't really smell at all, now that I think about it. But I also enjoy the smell of acrylic liquid in the process of doing my nails. So, you know, there's that. So, yep, this is where I went in with this Impossible powder, and y'all will see me struggle it. I'm about to put my finger, the tip on my hand, to try and press it out because it dried that fast. Granted, this footage is sped up, but it was so fast. It was so freaking fast. So, I highly do not recommend the ASP bonding powder. I bought this from Sally's a long time ago, back when, you know, I didn't know the price of powder, the price of a decent acrylic powder, and I overpaid for this for trash. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm just gonna keep going through and creating the jelly nails, and throw on some glitter once I'm done putting down the first coat. Now, when I do any type of thing encapsulating glitters or anything, I do just like one layer, and then I'll go and do the glitters and stuff after I've done all 5 fingers. But that's just me. I know some people do it right then and there, but I don't want to contaminate the base layer, even though there's gonna be glitter in it. I just don't want to contaminate, if that makes sense. If not, that's fine. That's just the way I do it. So I will be back once I finish laying the first layer of acrylic, and then we'll go through on my glitter placements. that I've gotten the base layer of my acrylic on, what I just go through and do is I just honestly wet my brush. Sometimes I go in with a little bit of acrylic, but I just wet my brush and brush onto my nail with the wet acrylic liquid, and then place my glitters that way. That way I don't have any weird bumps or anything I gotta try and file down. Now when it came to these nails, I knew that once I had, if you see on my ring finger where like the dried acrylic meets the new wet acrylic, it kind of looked like clouds. Of course, you know, I went with clouds, but I definitely wanted to do like a night theme sky with the Aquarius symbol, you know, shining within it. So I do make these glow, and we'll come to that when it comes down to the art time. But with these, I wanted to put in moons in certain places to where I could put clouds in them, so that way it looks like the cloud is, or the moon is peeking over the cloud looking for Aquarius. It might have gotten a little deep there, but you know, I think that nails should have a meaning behind them if you can make them have a meaning behind them, you know. And this is my birthday month, and Aquarius are amazing, and I'm tributing to them, to us. So what I'm doing here is I am going in with the same liquid, with the same blue liquid, the blue jelly liquid. I like the way it looks when it's a blue tint, and it came out actually really pretty, although the only thing I can say that I wasn't super big on was the hollow glitter, like the regular bluish hollow glitter. You don't really get to see that as much, but it does look absolutely gorgeous with that blue tint on top. So I just go over my nails with this blue tint, and then I will be back to file. So I went ahead and let the nails completely dry, and this is the color they dried to, which looks really pretty. So I'm just going in for some basic filing. I'm using my Hot Tips Beauty Game Changer bit with my Melody Susie drill at a decent speed, and I will say that with these particular nails, looking back now, I really wish I would have worked on my thumb a little bit more, getting my apex down. I mean, it's not terrible, but I would rather have it a little bit flatter. That's something I definitely want to work on this year, is getting my apex to the right height. I like a bit of a higher apex because my nails are always on the longer side, so I know I do need that strength, but I want to work on it getting to something really nice and sleek and sexy, but still have enough strength to support my XXL nails. So, and I already know the next set I do after this is gonna be double tip. Just wait for it. So I'm just going in here with this it's called a banana file. I was going to call it a curved something. The banana file, this is a 100-180 grit file, and I am just doing my simple file routine. If you see the light going off in the background, my nail lamp is slightly haunted, but that's okay. I enjoy the ghosts. They bring me comfort in my corner. They hang out with my skeleton who holds my cotton. So yeah, I'm just basic filing here. Nothing super fancy. Oh, sorry, and my phone completely fell. That's the problem with filming on the phone sometimes, is that the case, I bought a new case for my phone because I have a newer phone, and it has a pop socket wallet on the back, and I had to set it on my stand a little differently, so it wound up falling because I didn't realize I was filing so freaking hard against my table. And I'm just rattling on at this point, so I apologize, and we'll be back when it's time for some art. I'm gonna wash my hands completely after this to get all the dust out, and then we'll be back with some art. Here are the nails after they have been washed, and they look super cool. I'm not going to put any type of top coat on them on this first round of paint because I already know I'm going to remove them completely when it comes to my next set. So if you don't remember these are the wonderful micro carving multi-purpose gels that I reviewed in a previous video. I'll leave that up in the cards. I am going to be using these because they are a little bit better for art, because they are of a thicker consistency, and I can always water it down with some alcohol, and that's what I'm just pouring into the little dapper dish here. It's just some 91% alcohol to help thin it out when I make my clouds. I've also learned a lot using this gel in this particular way, so make sure you stay tuned for more ways to use it. So for the clouds, I'm just dipping I have a little liner brush that I bought. Honestly, I bought it at Michael's. And I'm dipping it in alcohol first and then going into my paint because the paint, again, is super thick. So with the white, the way I do my clouds in paintings, because I do also paint, I only do like the outline, and this is a great way to do so. You only do the outline heavy in white, and then you water it down and bring it out and draw it out to make it fluffy. Trying to draw a cloud is actually very, very difficult, but being able to paint and shade and to make it work the way you need it to makes it a lot easier. And that's just a little stand I have for my brushes. So here I'm taking this flat brush and I'm just dipping it and making sure it's relatively wet in alcohol, and drying off just a little extra, but making sure it's relatively wet and just bringing the parts of the wet line in like a bumpy shape that I drew down. And what I'm doing with these is I'm putting them as close to the moon as possible. Like I said, I wanted the moons to be looking for Aquarius, so they're all facing one way or another, but they're peeking up over the cloud, which I think gives it a really cute effect. So yeah, I'm just going in with some alcohol to thin it out at the bottom to really give it that cloud, that night sky cloud look. And then what I do in between each cloud set, I cure it for at least 5 seconds, so that way it's not going to move if I accidentally, my fingers touch. And you guys can tell my fingers crip walk whenever I do my nails, but that's from years of playing basketball. So yeah, that's all I do here. Nothing super fancy, and then I actually do get a little bit more detailed, but we'll get into that more towards the end. So for now, I'm just gonna go ahead and paint this first round of clouds, and I'll be back. So I wind up not going in for a second round of clouds because the paint is super thick and really pigmented, so I did appreciate that. So I decided to add some extra stars. Again, I'm using the gel paint, and then I'm gonna add the Aquarius sign in the blue. So I did want these to glow a little bit, and I wanted them just not too much. I will say the white looks really good. The white stars look really good when they do glow in the dark. The blue doesn't show up as well as I thought it would, and I think that's because the color is so pigmented. So if you were to do this, use a neutral glow powder on top of your colored gel. So this is definitely a multi-purpose gel pot. You can use it for small art projects if you thin it out a lot. And then it's good for doing spider art, spider string, I don't know what to call it, spidering, webbing, the stringy stuff. It's really good for that, so I do kind of use it like that to try and get as precise lines as possible on the Aquarius sign. But I will say that it does make it a raised, if you do something like the Aquarius sign, it does make it raised, so it is on the 3D side. So if you did want to use it for 3D purposes, I'm sure you can find a way to do so. But this didn't take to the blue glow powder as well as I thought it would, and it's just because of the pigment in both the acrylic powder and then the super pigment in the gel. They just didn't get along very well. It glows a little bit, but not as much as I personally would like it to. I like the bright glow. I like the obnoxious glow. I like people see me from a mile away type of glow. Like, oh, she got on the light jacket. Nope, those are just her fingernails. But this gel is actually really good to use. It's definitely better than using the painting or the stamping gels that I've used before as artwork. The only thing is with this one, again, it is on the thicker side, so if you wanted to use it for painting purposes, you're definitely going to need to thin it out with some alcohol or something. And then I accidentally went into the white with the blue, but it didn't matter. So yeah, I just go over with the design I want, and then I actually wait until the very end because it is such a thick polish or a thick gel that I do wait till the end to pour my glow powders directly on them. So I'll pour them on the stars, you know, in the white, and then tap it off, and then I'll pour on the blue and then tap it off, and then cure my nails. So that's actually how I go about that. And then what I also do is I start this stringing process here, and this could have been done a little bit easier, not with a brush, because this could potentially ruin a brush this thin, but with my dotting tool. Now looking back, I should have done it with my dotting tool, but you know, you can't fix the past. I also will say that if you do this, get the actual spider gel, because I think that one is a little bit thinner than this stuff, because it does make it 3D and raised, which is not a problem. But as far as the overall look, I like my nails to look very straight, and they weren't as straight as I wanted to be on the middle finger because of the way the 3D stuff stuck out on the sides. So it looks nice, they look cute, but you know, if I were to do something a little different, I probably wouldn't have added that. But it looks really good. So I'm just gonna go in and add stars here. All I do with the stars is I just add white dots, and then I take my thin liner brush and dip it in alcohol again and just drag the dot out into a star form. And that's all I do with that. And then once I'm done with that, I go ahead and cure the nails for 60 seconds to make sure everything is cured. I actually think I cure it longer than 60, just to make sure that, because it's so thick, I didn't want any rippling. A really good thing about it is it did not ripple like the stamping gels would. So that's definitely not a plus in my book. And I really do like this particular gel for small art purposes. I want to see what it does when I get a really good liner brush, a long liner brush, to see if I can do actual line work. But that'll be future videos way down the line. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish this up and pour on my glow powders and cure, and I'll be back. are the nails fully cured, and what I'm doing here is mixing up some blue and white paint to make like a really light blue. And I'm gonna go into detail on top of the clouds just to make it a little bit more realistic. I do like a really good night scene. So that's all I'm doing here, and I just take my little liner brush, thin it out, really not super thin, but just thin enough. And as you can see, I'm just going to be going over the top to make it a little bit more of a realistic feeling, and more of a nighttime type of view on my nails. So that's all I'm going to do here, and then I'm going to cure, and then we'll be back for a top coat. Dusting any extra dust off that may be on the nails from pouring on my acrylic powder, my glow powder, and then I'm just going in with this top coat. I'll be using, again, my favorite top coat ever, my Beetles Top Gel. I actually do have this on auto order, so I always have it because this is glossy. Look at that! Oh my goodness, the top coat is juicy. Let me tell you. So I just put on the nice top coat here, and then I cure the whole thing for 60 seconds, but I absolutely love the way these turned out. Encapsulates my birthday 100%. If you count in pictures, there's actually 11 moons across my nails, with the 12th one, or with the 12th symbol being the Aquarius sign, which I think is pretty cool, and that honestly was not planned, as I am actually recording this video, or editing this video. I actually looked down on my hand and I counted, and I thought it was just so crazy. There's 12 zodiac signs and I have 12 moons looking up at Aquarius, because we are obviously heavenly. So if you enjoyed these birthday nails, these part 1 of my birthday nails, let me know down in the comments below. If you are a fellow Aquarius, what is up, my good fellow Aquarian? I am here. We are here. Let's take over the world. This is our year. And I am so excited to be sharing all of my ideas with you guys this week. I apologize for the late post. Been doing some home renovations. I've been working on my own house. We've been building our own house for quite some time, and it is very costly, and it does take quite some time, so sometimes my videos get pushed back. But I will always keep you updated, so make sure you follow me on my social medias. Instagram, OJ Does Nails. Make sure you follow me on TikTok. I'm not there much, but TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, the whole 9 yards. That's all listed down in the description box below. I can't wait to see you guys in the next video. Enjoy these reveal photos, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.